Well, as I told you, there is another candidate for president. And his candidacy was just announced. I have him on the phone long distance from New York City, Mr. Gaylord Goodfellow.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Mr. Goodfellow.
How are you?
I'm very well, sir, and yourself?
I'm fine.
When did you decide to run for president?
Well, I just saw that Pat Paulson, he almost made it, so I thought I'd stick my little nose in there.
Your little nose?
Yeah, thank you very much. I thought you'd like a straight line like that.
I was just wondering if there's any minimum age to run for president of the United States. I guess.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
The way it's going now, we can use anybody.
Anybody?
Yes, sir.
What about your platform committee? I understand you have an interesting platform committee, Mr. Goodfellow.
Yes, we do. We have quite a platform, and I'm in New York right now. I'm trying to get the girl on Wall Street to be my running partner.
You're trying to get who?
You know that girl on Wall Street?
Oh, the one that 5,000 guys watch come to work?
15,000 guys. I think that'd be a pretty good start.
Get you a lot of television coverage.
Yes, sir, boy.
Mr. Goodfellow, don't you think somebody is going to capitalize and get that girl on television or something? There's certainly...
I think she's selling something. I think she's got a book.
Or something.
She's got something going there. When she can have that many guys waiting around for her.
Yeah.
On Wall Street especially.
Yeah.
There's enough there for, to keep you busy. These cats are waiting outside, waiting for a peek at this. This is a great thing. I need her for my running partner.
I think we should talk about politics, so about the people on your platform committee. Jill St. John.
Yeah.
Zsa Gabor.
Yeah.
Angie Dickinson.
Carol Baker.
Carol Baker.
Sid Charisse.
Sid Charisse. Vicky Carr.
Yes, sir.
What kind of help could you possibly get from them?
Yeah, all the help I need, I'll tell you. See, they're just great. Then I got a few added starters,
Oh? Who else?
Well, I can't reveal that before my initial TV appearance on Wednesday.
Wednesday, September the 25th on
25th,
NBC.
Yeah.
When Gaylord Goodfellow for president.
Gaylord Goodfellow runs like crazy on a swinging platform.
Bob, getting serious or half serious for a minute, don't you think that the presidential race, as it's stacking up, is making for a very interesting year politically?
Oh, it sure is.
I spoke to someone the other day, I don't remember who, someone of note, I'm sure, but they said they wouldn't have lived at any other time, but right now, because this political thing is becoming very interesting. The time in which we live is very interesting, and of course you're in touch with it. You're places where it's happening. You're in Vietnam, of course, at the holidays, and
I sure am. And I was picketed on the other night at the University of Michigan, so I feel that I've finally arrived.
You were picketed?
Yeah.
For what?
Well, I did a show at the field house for 14,000 of them, and there was a small group that picketed me and said that I was taking beautiful girls to Vietnam every Christmas and doing shows for these kids and then sending them into battle to die and all this kind of stuff. And I was responsible for the war and all this stuff. So it opened it up for 10 minutes. I just did about 10 minutes on that subject for them. And these people just stood up and applauded and cheered. Because everybody feels the same way. They feel that we're making a great sacrifice for these kids, and we got to bring war to a very, very happy conclusion. If you can bring a war to a happy conclusion, but we got to have a satisfactory conclusion to this war. But that's something new, isn't it?
You're being picketed.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely have arrived. Now, let's see. Humphrey was picketed the other day, Vice President Humphrey. All the presidential candidates have had that problem. Now Gaylord Goodfellow can be added to the list.
Finally got it.
That's a great name for a presidential candidate.
It really is.
You're automatically liked.
Yes, sir.
Have you done anything with Phyllis Diller lately?
No, I haven't. No, I've been very lucky.
You're bad. Well, Gaylord Goodfellow for president.
The beautiful Phyllis Diller show.
That's right.
The writers quit, they don't believe the premise.
Is that it? The beautiful...
They're demanding a stunt check.
You're going to be here in person in the Bay Area in December with the Youth of America.
Yes, sir.
I don't have the date. Maybe I do. What is the date? We don't have a date yet, but you will be here, I think, at the Oakland Coliseum, but I don't know whether that's been settled yet. We'll look forward to that, and, of course, to Gaylord Goodfellow for president this coming Wednesday night on NBC television.
Right.
Listen, let me put you on the spot as long as the subject came up anyway. What is your feeling, without dealing in any personalities, what is your feeling in an entertainer seriously becoming involved in politics?
Well, I just think that anybody, I don't care what they are, an actor, of course, they have a little head start because they're in touch with the public, and I think it's very important to get people out in public life that the people have confidence in. And I think old man Reagan proved that, because I'm very proud of George Murphy, and I'm very proud of Ronnie Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
Because these guys have handled their deals pretty well. And I mentioned Reagan's name in the University of Michigan, and I never heard such applause.
Is that right?
He's really made a mark back, around the country.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be a serious contender, I think, for a big office. I think he could have made, from what I understand, he could have had a pretty good job. He could have been the Spiro Agnew of our day.
You don't feel, then, that a background in the entertainment business would necessarily be invalid as background for politics, do you?
Oh, God, no. I think it's a great help.
Yeah.
I think it's a great help.
Of course,
your movies on television are sort of a smear campaign.
You mean the old ones?
I really think that anybody with personality and anybody that can give the people confidence is very important today.
Well,
it isn't a matter of where you come from. It's what you are.
I spoke to Governor Reagan almost a year ago. We were on the air for almost an hour together, and he said something very interesting to me that I recall. He said that he feels, and I feel too, that our form of government was never necessarily intended to be run by professionals. It was meant to be handled by the citizenry, the interested citizenry, and that every citizen owed it to himself and his country to participate as much as he could.
You know, the greatest break we could get today is that we could get a fellow that wasn't a politician in there and didn't know anything to any party and would think of the country. That's been our problem. Because when Mr. Eisenhower, who was a great general and a great hero, stepped in there, he didn't know anybody anything, and all he thought about is what he could do for America and the people. That's what we need today, because we have problems. And we need a lot of repair.
Well, what about Gaylord Goodfellow?
Gaylord Goodfellow is all set, and he's got a great platform.
He does?
Yes, sir. He's going to put the whole government on the Diners Club.
The whole government goes on the Diners Club?
Yes, and state foreign policy is going to legalize praying in the State Department so they can be in constant touch with General de Gaulle.
What about the space program?
Going to try and get a little more money for him so the astronauts don't stand in front of let's make a deal.
Fiscal policy? Has he decided anything on fiscal policy?
Oh, we got the whole thing worked out. There's going to be a lot of good spending, and going to have higher wages, lower taxes, cheaper government, and they're going to give out these kind of cigarettes to everybody.
You've got my vote.
Yes, sir.
Gaylord, stay well. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much, Jack.
Talk to you soon.
Good to talk to you.
Right. Bye-bye. From New York City, Gaylord Goodfellow, who runs for president. Gaylord Goodfellow for president on NBC television September the 25th. That's the day after tomorrow. And if you didn't recognize Gaylord Goodfellow's voice, I'm not going to tell you who it was.